right, everybody, we'll get started again with Wil Myers and Bob Scanlon.
Hey, Will, obviously things didn't end up the way you guys had hoped, but at the same time, what positives can you take out of this postseason experience for you guys?
Having this experience is good. Obviously, we came up short, but this was a good season for us. You can look at the negatives, you can look at how it ended there tonight, but overall, from a organizational standpoint, I feel like we took a huge step this year in the right direction to really give ourselves the title of a winning organization, and that's really what we were striving for this year, and that's something that we were able to accomplish. We know how to win now. We know we're expecting to win. We got great players in here, and I know we came up short tonight, but there's a lot of optimism here in San Diego. There's a lot to be proud of here, and we're excited about what we were able to accomplish, although we came up short. It's going to be a great ready to rock and roll, and coming back next year with a different mentality.
You mentioned the different mentality. How much different is it? In the years past, it was, I hope maybe we can turn the corner. You guys did this year. I mean, a whole different expectation maybe heading into next season.
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing every organization has to do, in a rebuild process. They don't go from bad to winning the World Series. They take steps. This was a big step for us. This was a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction for the organization, for the players, the development. I think it was a great step for us all. There's a lot to be proud of. There's a lot to be excited about in the years to come, especially with what we were able to accomplish this year. So, there's a lot of optimism here. I know, it didn't end on the best note, but it is those things happen in the game, and we turned a big corner, and that's really the big thing here is we were able to really figure out how to win ball games and really turn the organization around.
We've talked about the organization these first couple of questions, but you really epitomize what's been turned around this year. And for yourself personally, what do you walk away with out of this season in terms of what you learned about yourself and what you can take into next season as well?
Yeah, no, it was a good season for me. I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish this year, especially making big strides on the offensive side. I felt like I really took some steps in the right direction with what I want to continue doing throughout my career, especially at the plate. So to be able to come out and execute what I was wanting to execute all year was really cool for me. To have the inconsistencies over the last few years and to be able to come out this year and put together a consistent season was really exciting for me. So it's good to go through that, to take a season with that and go into the off season with the same thing and focus on that as well.
Thanks, Will. Great job this year.
Thank you.
Annie Halverman?
Hey, Will, you mentioned those accomplishments. Does how it ended leave a bad taste in your mouth or outweigh any of what you guys were able to accomplish earlier this season?
It does not outweigh anything that we accomplished this season. Obviously, you never want to get swept here, especially against that team. But there was too many things that happened this year that were positive. There's too many things that happened good for this organization. There's too many big steps taken forward to look at one game at the end of the season to think that that was a tough turn. But I think with this, it can leave a bitter taste in your mouth, but for a good reason. You sit there and you watch the Dodgers, shake hands after a win, and that can be something in your mind going into the offseason for some motivation. So you can take that as a positive and really use it to your advantage in the offseason. But I do not think that outweighs what we were able to accomplish this year. We were able to do a lot, and we should all be very proud of that.
Do you look at the Dodgers any differently after this series?
No.
Thanks, Will.
You're welcome.
AJ Cassavell?
Well, you said you've made the strides to get here. What did you learn about what it's going to take to make that next stride to get past where you are right now? I mean, is it and do you wonder what might have been with some starting pitchers out there?
Sure. Yeah. You want to look at what could have been. I think a big component of that is health from a starting pitcher standpoint. When you lose your two top guys at the end of the season going into the postseason, you're behind the eight ball. But the thing that we were able to do is we were able to continue what we've done all year and keep fighting back. You saw in the wild card series, there was no give up in our team, and that's really important. You want to talk about steps that we got to make coming into next year. A healthy San Diego Padres team is a great team, and that's what we know that we believe that. And coming into next year, we know that we have all the pieces ready to rock and roll for that.
Kevin Acee?
But what were you thinking as you were the last guy standing there watching? What were you thinking?
That the season was over. No, you just sit there and it's you go through 3 months of the COVID camp and the season, and you grind all those at bats out, you grind all those games out. You're with your teammates for so long, and to come up short is tough. No matter how good of a season anybody has, if you lose the last game of the season, it is tough. But like I said before, there's too many positives that we had this year to really look and sit and dwell on the negatives. Yes, we wanted to be the team that's shaking hands there at the end, but we know that we have the team to be able to do that. We're very confident with the group of guys that we have. We have a good team, and we know coming into spring training next year, we're going to be the real deal.
With the situation you had where your bullpen was just going to have to do so much with those guys out, what would it have taken to have won this series?
What would it take? I mean, great baseball, obviously. We can look at all the things that we could have done or should have done or whatever. At the end of the day, we just came up short, and it is what it is. Like those things happen in a season. It was a long season. We had some guys with some injuries. We had some guys that were playing that were playing through some injuries. At the end of the day, we went out there and gave it our all, and we got to hang our hat on that and feel confident with that. Go into the off season and keep that rolling, and come into spring training ready to rock and roll.
Last question will go to Adam Pooh.
Hey, Will, congrats on a great season.
Thank you.
This was obviously an odd year with COVID and everything. Was there anything that was done differently this year, whether it was a protocol or a rule change or anything like that you'd like to see carried over into the future?
Actually, I liked having multiple buses after the game. You could you get on the bus and leave early, so that would be the only thing. Nothing crazy.
All right, thank you very much, Will.
Good.
Appreciate your time. Thank you. We'll be back.